I am Chris Mason, owner of Oldwood Custom Cabinets in Huntsville, Alabama, and I work with my brother. We've worked in the cabinet industry together for 10 years. We started Oldwood Custom Cabinets in 2018, and really with the goal to create innovative ways to do cabinetry. We specialize in custom cabinetry, and we primarily do residential with some commercial. We are always looking at ways to increase throughput because that is cash flow for a cabinet business. So I knew that because the finishing is the bottleneck for our cabinet company, that's where I wanted to make the biggest improvements and biggest investments. And then I learned about Nathan Guffey and the Guffey system. And then I was able to actually see it in action. And so initially, like a lot of cabinet makers, I knew the PivotPoint system was a better price, and so I started there until I realized how much improvement it made on our system. I knew that the PivotLine could only do that more, so why would I not invest into something that's going to make my company more money? And so I think it was 3 months after I bought the PivotPoint system, I went ahead and purchased the PivotLine system. And I'm glad that we have both. We still use the PivotPoint system. We actually use the PivotPoint. It is movable, so we can still use it on our PivotLine, or we can actually take it on site if we need to, and we're still able to finish a door 360 degrees. And then the storage racks for the PivotPoint system, we still use those regularly for offloading doors from a mobile rail. But really, it was such a significant improvement from the PivotPoint to the PivotLine, just as far as in production. And what we have found is the PivotLine has reduced our material handling by up to 80%. Our bottleneck, like most cabinet companies, was the finish department. And we've been able to relieve that so much that we're starting to see the bottleneck shift to our installation, which is our throughput. So we can actually finish and assemble so quickly that we don't have the capabilities to install all of that. So our bottleneck has now shifted to installation, which is a good thing because cash flow comes from installing cabinets into people's homes. Not only would I recommend this system to every custom cabinet maker, but I have. And I think there's probably 3 or 4 really good friends of mine in other states that have purchased the Guffey system and are immediately seeing good results. So what I would say to a cabinet maker is, if you want to make more money now and in the future, then you need to relieve the bottleneck. And you may not know it, but your bottleneck is probably your finish department. And so why would you not invest the money into that area of your business?